Hello Zebra Herd and welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies. In the last episode we started our PvZ adventure and now we're gonna be continuing with World 2-1. Let's see what this is all about. At the very end of the last episode we unlocked a little mushroom and maybe we'll learn more about it. Oh, it's nighttime. Evening, Zebra. Those zombies just won't let up, will they? You'll notice that fighting zombies at night is different than in the day. For one, you won't get any sun falling from the sky. You can still get sun from sunflowers though. And lucky for you, you got yourself some Puff Shrooms. Plant as many of those as you can and you'll be A-O good. What does A-O good mean? Awesomely, off-puttingly good? I don't know, but as you can see, we still only have 6 seed slots for these plants, so we wanna choose carefully. Things will be a lot more difficult to afford because of the fact that, as he said, we don't have sun falling from the sky, which was originally a huge source of our, sun income, I guess you could say. We only start with 50 sun, so we'll be able to start with 1 sunflower, but we're gonna have to keep things on the cheaper side beyond that. So we're gonna do a combo like this and we're just gonna really show the power of Puff Shrooms and hopefully many more of the shrooms to come. And as you saw there, you might have, didn't take the second to mention it, I'm sorry, but there was a brand new zombie as well, the newspaper zombie. I will be talking about him as things go along. But yeah, things are interesting at nighttime. One thing, gravestones just right out of the ground. Well, that makes sense, you know, there are zombies and stuff, but we need this sunflower to make another piece of sun before we can get another sunflower. But we're not gonna rely on potato mines right away. Instead, we're gonna use the Puff Shrooms. As you can see, I'm already starting to place them. They should be enough to get rid of the basic brown coats, but they do not have a very large range comparatively to, say, a pea shooter. It doesn't matter how far back a pea shooter is, as soon as there's a zombie on their lane, they'll start shooting. The problem with Puff Shrooms is that that's not the case. They'll only start shooting at a zombie when I think they are 3 spaces ahead. So he's about to step into the 3rd space ahead of the Puff Shroom and boom, start shooting. So that's something to keep in mind. Of course, that means you're gonna wanna double these guys up. That way, you know, twice the amount of hits is twice the amount of fun, right? So, not bad so far. Let's go ahead and get that coin. Save up money to purchase cool stuff. Our first 10 bucks, awesome. So yeah, that's gonna be super important, is that we save up money as well. So lots of stuff we're learning about in this episode already. So obviously with these Puff Shrooms costing 0, the only thing blocking us off from planting them is when they are restored. Now you might be wondering what the gravestones are for. They actually serve a different purpose in PvZ 2 slightly. They're at least more difficult to deal with. But for now, you'll sort of see eventually, zombies will pop up from them. But right now my focus is just sort of to place more sunflowers. Once I got 2 rows of these guys, or these girls, I guess, we'll be able to start doing more with them. For now though, I might as well just do 3 rows of Puff Shrooms, cause why not? I'll go ahead and place one of the pea shooters. As long as we have 1 row, we'll be able to make things work. Obviously things are better with 2. But we're working our way there. But yeah, I'm just gonna start replacing some of these Puff Shrooms with pea shooters. And you know, the Puff Shrooms are also excellent cannon fodder. So here's our first little introduction to the newspaper zombie. Now he can be a bit problematic, so I'm going to go ahead and put a wall knight out. Obviously he's sort of slowly moving and he's just reading a newspaper. So what's his problem? We broke his newspaper. He's mad and he moves real quick once you do that. So you really don't want to break his newspaper. Unfortunately, there's no way to defeat him without doing that. Unless you have a potato mine or cherry bomb to explode him altogether, then it's no big deal. But that's sort of the thing about the newspaper zombie. You want to make sure you're prepared for him or he is going to charge at your plants like there is no tomorrow, because for him, if he doesn't get rid of those plants, there really will be no tomorrow. So we're doing pretty well against this. Let me get these sunflower suns. And we're just gonna keep on putting pea shooters down. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. So my goal now is that now that we have all this Puff Shroom firepower, like I said, we're gonna be replacing those with pea shooters. I have to be wary of the gravestones because we cannot put things over graves. So that's sort of another issue they have, is that they, you know, are spots we can't do anything about. Eventually we'll be able to remedy that, but in the meantime, I got myself another one of these dudes. They're relatively weak. It's just one of those things where it's like they can sort of sneak up on you and then all of a sudden you're missing out on a plant. And that could be bad. So you just wanna make sure you're prepared by the time they come out here. They usually aren't too big of a threat. They're still basically an early game zombie. Speaking of which, we have a huge wave of zombies coming this way. The final wave. Okay, so I can use a cherry bomb. I wanna use it at just the right time, and that was not the right time. I could have gotten more with that. Oh well, I did what I could. Get an extra coin, we're at 40 coins now. So yeah, I'll probably zone out and collect coins and not even realize and be like, oh hey, look at all the coins I have. Coins are of course a big part of this game. Not only do they let us buy, you know, certain extras, I believe. Maybe they don't let us buy extras in this version, but they will let us get certain things in the game that we need or will really benefit from. And it looks like we got ourselves another little mushroom pal. This guy looks adorable. He is the Sun Shroom. Gives small sun at first and normal sun later. He's 25, so he's half the cost of a sunflower, but he does get, like I said, gives less sun at first. Hey, you've collected 300 in your coins so far. I have, wow, that was quick. When you collect 750, I'll sell you something really neato. I'll keep that in mind. Huh, so 750 coins. So instead of the sunflower this time, we got ourselves a brand new sun friend, the Sun Shroom. We're gonna use that. Beyond that, my combo's gonna be relatively the same. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a, ooh, that's a little risky, isn't it? Let's do Chomper. I feel like that's a fun combo. Puff Shrooms and Chompers. It might not work out the way I wanted to, or to find out together, but the Sun Shrooms are cheaper, so we'll be able to throw out 2 of them more quickly than we would have been able to the Sunflower, but they don't give you as much sun at first, so getting started might be a bit of a challenge, but it will pay itself forward later because they will grow and end up giving us more sun. I don't think they give us more sun than a sunflower. They still just give us 25, which is always weird to me. I feel like they should have always given you a little more for the investment you have to put in early on, but it still sort of makes sense. We need more sun before we can place another one. We already got 3 out already. They're sort of like an early investment. You put them out now, you benefit later, as long as you can play it well. Personally, I don't really use the Sun Shrooms much. I usually rely on sunflowers, even in nighttime. I just always have felt it's a bit more productive, but maybe you disagree. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Sun Shrooms. Any of the plants really, or zombies or anything. I would love to hear your thoughts on it all. So for right now, maybe we don't need the potato mine much. I'm glad we have it. Maybe things will get nasty later, but maybe instead of the potato mine next time, I should try the pea shooter. But as we're getting more plants, our strategies are divulging, which is fun. That's sort of my favorite thing about this game, is that replaying it and trying different things is always good. I've tried strategies that some people are like, why would you do that? And I go, okay, well, it worked, you know? A lot of people sort of choose what works for them and stick with it the entire game, which is totally respectable. If it works for you, might as well use it. But I think it's also fun to experiment a bit, like, oh, can I beat this level? If I use this plant, if I use just Chompers and Puff Shrooms instead of maybe using, it would have been easier if I just did Puff Shrooms and Pea Shooters. I'm sure we would have been just fine with that, but I feel like Puff Shrooms and Chompers are a fun combo as well. Okay, so I'm tempted to do a 3rd row of Sun Shrooms. I just don't know if that'll be as effective as I'm hoping, especially since we still don't have much we can do against the gravestones. But at the same time, there's not really anything I could put there. I mean, I could just start the Chompers from there and really just have like an artillery of Puff Shrooms being protected by, or protecting a Chomper, I guess is a better word for it. Anyways, it looks like some of our Sun Shrooms are growing up to be big boys and putting out normal suns. Actually, yeah, from 230 to 255, so that was 25 sun, just like a sunflower. All right, so these Puff Shrooms are getting the work done, and that's really what I think I'm gonna do, is just make a whole row of Puff Shrooms that are gonna be valiantly protecting these Chompers from any kind of harm, but once they get to the Chompers, they're basically done for. Okay, so we do have a newspaper zombie coming up. Not that big of a threat just yet. We're gonna keep focusing on putting those Puff Shrooms out the moment they're available, because if we could just have a full field of them, it really doesn't hurt us at all. Most of them won't end up seeing action until the zombies get closer, but that's not really to my concern. Okay, you didn't get rid of that one, good. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Puff Shrooms, is their limited range. And we're gonna see a lot of mushrooms. Mushrooms do a lot better here in the night than normal plants usually do. I mean, they're all good, but we're just gonna be seeing a lot of mushrooms in today's episode, which I think is plenty fun. Okay, so we're doing all right so far. Got some more coins. I don't know where I jumped from like 50 to 300. I think that how it works, I wasn't really paying attention, is that if you finish a level and have lawnmowers still, I haven't really mentioned that. You might see on the left side of the field, we have lawnmowers. What's the deal with those? Basically, if there is a situation where a zombie gets through all of your defenses and gets all the way to the left side, they're going to hit a lawnmower, and that lawnmower is gonna move from left to right across that lane and take out any zombies that is in its way. It's basically the last line of defense. So if a lawnmower leaves and takes care of a bunch of zombies, but then another zombie gets through and goes through that lane again with no lawnmower, you lose. It's game over. Zombies eat your brains. So that's what you gotta be careful about. That's the biggest risk. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some walnuts out, even though I really don't need them. I just don't have too much more I can do with the sun. Basically, we just put out an army of Puff Shrooms and that was the winning strategy. I mean, I might end up going south here in a moment. We're gonna find out. But yeah, if you can survive without, you know, losing too many lawnmowers, you end up getting more coins. I think you get maybe like 50 coins for every lawnmower then? That seems like it makes sense because I guess we got about 250 coins. Okay, so this guy's a bit scary because he's of course a bucket head. And I think he's gonna make his way through a lot of these Puff Shrooms. So I'm gonna make it difficult for him. The moment he eats this one, I'm gonna put another one in his way. And why I'm doing that is hopefully just to delay him long enough so that, I'm sorry, Sun Shroom, had to do it. So that this potato mine can suit up and then get rid of him. I think it will, it's almost ready. There it is, okay. So let's just go ahead and do that, save ourselves some time. And see you, dude. Ready, set, spadow. All right, I find that funny because of course there is a PvZ hero named Spadow who is just a giant walking potato mine. And that's what his name is a reference to, the noise that potato mines make when they explode, Spadow. Okay, so far so good. The Puff Shrooms, of course, aren't very strong with their, you know, attacks, so this is not a strategy that's going to last us. We're not gonna continue the strategy onto the other levels, that's for sure. But for now, it's fine. One thing that's interesting about the gravestones that was more difficult in PvZ 2 is that you can't shoot through them as you can in this game, as you can see with this Puff Shroom in the center lane. He's shooting right through the gravestone and hitting the cone head. You couldn't do that in PvZ 2. You have to destroy the gravestones in front of you before you can actually land any hits on the zombie behind it. And that makes the game significantly more difficult. Of course, you get more things that help you break the gravestones a bit more easily, so it balances out, but it just shows you how much more of a difficult game PvZ 2 is. Which sometimes difficulty is good, sometimes it's not so good. I think this game can be tough, but sometimes PvZ 2 can be tough in a bad way. I'm gonna be mostly focusing on PvZ 1 in this playthrough of PvZ 1, what do you know? Instead of talking about PvZ 2 the entire time. I like the tiny gravestone at the top though. It's like the same one as the one in the middle, just smaller. It's adorable. We're about to hit this super huge wave. No, did you just eat that? You know what? Have a chomper. I'll just leave him there, but he's probably gonna get eaten. He ate that potato mine though, which is a pain in the booty. I'll put that guy there. But obviously this level probably would've went better if we didn't use chompers and instead use peashooters. But this worked. I mean, so far it's working and I don't think it's gonna stop working. You can go ahead. I have almost 2,000 sun. I've been really zoning out and just talking. That's sort of the thing. Obviously there's like no real cutscenes to this game. There's no other voice acting, so it's just gonna be me talking a bunch. Mostly like all my other PvZ videos. Okay, so it looks like this guy actually made it through. Look at him go. I'm gonna let the chomper get him. And this should be the huge final wave. This was actually a big double wave of everything. But I think we will, for the most part, especially for when things are more difficult, stick with the sunflowers and stuff. I think it would be better. Here's a bucket head, which I definitely, I can't plant on graves, so I'm gonna have to wait till about now. Excellent, not bad, got 3 coins for it. And then I'm gonna let this chomper eat you, get that chomper to eat you. That was pretty good. Get some of that. The chompers actually restore really quickly. So if you have a lot of sun, it can be good. And now this right here is a very useful mushroom. And as you can see, I did get 50 coins per lawnmower there. We get the Fume-shroom. Shoots fumes that can puff, or you could pass through screen doors. My mouse cursor was in the way of pass, so I didn't know what it said. So screen doors, what does that mean? Well, as you can see on the right, there's a screen door zombie. You can put your mouse over each zombie and I'll tell you some information, or at least their name. So yeah, we have the screen door zombie. So how do we wanna set this up? I think that we're gonna go back. I mean, at the same time, we did do pretty well by the end of it with the sun shroom. Maybe we should stick with that just because it's fun. Soon enough, we'll start doing sunflowers, but we'll try that. We'll get a potato mine. I'm gonna get I don't know if we need a pea shooter then. I'm gonna get a cherry bomb, and then maybe just walnut. That should work out pretty well, I think. Mostly mushrooms. Mostly mushroom mayhem. Coming to you right now. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 rows of sun shrooms again, and then from that just build an army of puff shrooms until we start having enough though for the fume shrooms, which the fume shrooms are still pretty popular. Of course, they are a potted plant in garden warfare. You don't really see that too much with some of the other mushrooms. I feel like they don't get as much love in some of the other, you know, PvZ games. They get love in PvZ 1 and 2, and I guess in PvZ here, it's just garden warfare. Garden warfare needs more mushrooms. I think the whole community has been begging for that though. I don't think I'm the first one to say it. Okay, so for now I do have the potato mines. I'm honestly on the fence if I should even bother using them right now. If I have the puff shrooms, maybe potato mines just aren't really too worth it. If we get like thrown a early cone head or bucket head even, it can be tough to deal with, which is why it's good to just have potato mines as a backup, because sometimes it can sneak up on you. It's like, oh wow, a cone head already. But not quite yet. Probably in the next couple levels we might end up seeing that. But I'm already doing a really good job with getting these sun shrooms out. I think that it's easier, of course, to get 2 rows of them than it is the sunflowers because they're cheaper. And they restore, I think, just as fast. I don't think it's any slower or faster. But I almost have enough for my first fume shroom. I just wanna make sure that the time is right for it. And I think they also have a limited range. They're not like the pea shooter, where the, you know, once again, he has infinite range, or at least, you know, as far as the game will allow you to go. But the fume shroom, I think he has a 4 space. So right there, yep, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces ahead of him that his attacks can reach. So he's gonna be much better, and those screen door zombies, which will surely be popping up soon, will have no choice but to deal with it. I'm sure you can assume what's gonna happen with that, but we'll talk about it when it happens. And for now, all I can really do is just build more of a wall of puff shrooms just to protect the fume shrooms that protect the sun shrooms that protect, you know, me, my brain. All right, well, let's go ahead and do this. And do that. Awesome. So far, so good. Getting tons of sun. I know like last round we got a ton of sun. We had like over 1,000 by the end of it. Okay, so this guy, we're gonna do that. And then put this, no, oh geez, I was wrong. Sort of like brain farted there for a moment. I'm like, okay, there's a cone head heading towards us. What should we do? Well, we'll probably put plants in front of it. So thinking now is a good time to start putting some walnuts down as well. But we're definitely gonna start working on 2 rows of fume shrooms. They're actually a rather cheap plant. 75 really isn't too expensive for the power that these guys pump out. I'd say it's just about on par with a pea shooter, if not better. But as you can see, that screen door does work as a pretty effective shield against anything that isn't a fume shroom, but the fume shroom, since it's just fumes, goes right through it. So we would be at a much more vulnerable spot if we didn't have the fume shroom for this. It's not impossible, you know, just get a potato mine out there like we have, and that will deal with them just the same, or a chomper. Of course, I know in Garden Warfare, if a chomper tries to eat a screen door zombie or something similar, it'll eat the screen door first, and then you have to get it again. But I don't think that's the case for this game. I think that you can just go ahead and get a chomper in front of it, it'll eat it whole. But luckily we don't have to do that. This is obviously the most cheap and effective way to get it done because it's only 75 instead of 150, twice as much for the chomper. But they're all working strategies, that's the beauty of the game. So we're gonna go ahead and try to finish up our second row of fume shrooms. I love this. Fume shrooms are some of the coolest looking mushrooms in my opinion. I feel like that really shows when you have a whole bunch of them in a row. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And I got more puff shrooms to put out. Okay, so we already have our huge wave. I'm probably just gonna knock them down really quick with this cherry bomb. We'll have to see. Does the cherry bomb get rid of a screen door very easily? Most likely. Cherry bomb seems to get rid of almost anything. I'll leave that as at almost. Actually, yeah, I don't know where to put this. I guess I'll put it here. Plop. That was pretty good. Oh, we get a gold coin. That's gonna be another 50, so we're at 710. Awesome, so there is all those zombies taken out. Level 2, 3 is completed, and I get whatever the world this is. Honestly can't tell you what plant this is. This is the Grave Buster. Plant it on a grave to remove the grave. Awesome stuff, it costs 75 sun though, a little pricey for what it is. Oh, hey, Crazy Dave again. Hey, wanna buy an extra seed slot? It'll cost you 750, but you'll be able to choose 7 seeds per level instead of 6. I would love to. How does that sound? Great. All right, and hey, when you save it to 5,000, I'll sell you an 8 seed slot upgrade. Check you later. That is a lot of money, Dave, $5,000. We just worked our butt off and got 700. Now you're gonna be upscaling that price like crazy. Anyways, as you can see on the top here, instead of 6, we can put in 7 plants just like this. Obviously, I don't want all of these. But let's take a look. Let me take a second. We have a bunch of brown coats, some cone heads, a pole vaulting zombie, and the screen door. So we probably wanna have our normal mushroom setup and the grave buster. At 75, it's a little expensive, but it'll be worth showcasing. Now the thing that I don't understand is what the heck plant is the grave buster supposed to be? I've never understood. Obviously, like most of these are supposed to be some form of mushroom or a sunflower or cherries or just a walnut. You know, it makes sense. A potato, a pea shooter that's cold, which there are actually peas called snow peas. And then a chomper is supposed to be like some kind of Venus flytrap. But what is he supposed to be? Maybe he's supposed to be like the grass roots that grow up upon, you know, like stone and graves and stuff. It does get replaced in PvZ 2, but I'm gonna stop blabbing about it. And this seems like a plenty fine loadout to me. Maybe we'll actually mix things up a little bit. Do something like that. If we have a ton of sun by the end of it, is it gonna be a double wave? Or is it gonna be a single? We'll find out soon enough. For right now, let's just get the planting. Whenever the first zombie comes out is when it reveals how many waves we'll be dealing with, for whatever reason. I think it would just tell us right away, but it doesn't really matter. We'll be ready for the worst. Okay, so it is a double wave, so we'll be ending up probably earning a fair amount of sun in this, so we'll probably be able to get to play a couple of repeaters. I'm gonna want them on the farthest, like the farther back. I don't want them in front of the mushrooms, because of course, you know, they don't have, or the mushrooms don't have as long of a range as the pea shooters, so we always want the pea shooters in the back. That does change soon. There are some mushrooms that do have some range, but they do pay a price for that. We'll see that soon enough though. Okay, so far so good. It looks like we are getting a lot of gravestones this level, definitely more now than ever before. So having the grave buster is certainly going to be helpful. But 75 is like a pretty huge asking price for it. That's sort of the big trade-off with the other iteration you see in PvZ 2, is that in PvZ 2 it's just sort of a vine. It's sort of different, but it's really not any, it's just more plant-like. So we could break one right now. It's not in my way, so I'm not gonna bother. Right now, it's much more important to me that we earn up a variety of mushrooms and sun-shrooms and stuff. Once I get these 2 rows out, I think we'll be better. But I think I'm gonna start putting Perfume-shrooms, I guess, here. I don't think I need more than 1 row of repeaters, so this is where we can, you know, start with the the Fume-shrooms, not Perfume-shrooms. Yeah, this is working out okay. Could do that. Might as well put the Puff Shrooms there. Yeah, we don't need any more sun-shrooms, so this is gonna work out pretty well. But I feel like when it comes to most nighttime strategies, the Fume-shroom is one of the best, especially for some of the things it can do later in the game. It can actually be upgradable. So it's a very reliable nighttime plant. Because mushrooms are very specifically nighttime. We find out later, but you can't play mushrooms during the day. Well, you can, but there's sort of a caveat to it. And that's how you use the word caveat? Maybe I should look it up at some point. But we're almost done with all of these. But I do sort of like the strategy that mushrooms provide. They're usually, you know, limited in power, but also cheap and affordable. And that's fun, because that's a bit different than the daytime plants, where a lot of those are a lot more expensive, but output a lot more power. Okay, so we can already start working on our 2nd row of Fume-shrooms. And I guess since we're getting there, we can start busting that grave. Just to sort of see what it does. As you can see, it slowly builds down on that grave until it's all gone. And it gives you a coin every single time. I mean, sometimes I think later in the game, it can give you something else. Oh my, that's actually a problem. Will we be able to get him? Come on, don't eat that Fume-shroom. Oh, you jerk. Oh, I was not ready for him. Come on, do not do this to me. Come on, get rid of him, get rid of him. Yes, okay, good job. Little Puff Shroom that could. I gotta be more prepared for that. I gotta pay attention, because that is all kinds of risky. And then we almost have that ready. Okay, here comes another one. I'm gonna put the walnuts there. I'll put that there. and that'll work out pretty decent. Well, if by the end of this, if I could have 3 rows of Fume-shrooms, that'd work out pretty swimmingly. But we will have to wait and see. I'm gonna put that there. So at this rate, I'm really not sure if we'll be able to afford the repeaters, but it's there just in case things are going well. I made a bit of a blunder before missing out on that Fume-shroom, so it sent me back a tiny bit, but not enough to ruin the game. Okay, so this is where, of course, the gameplay really starts picking up. That's sort of the fun about PvZ, is that I started playing this game an hour ago, you know, if you include the, the last episode with this episode. And already I'm through the basics, I'm earning my way through, but I totally forgot about the pole vaulting zombie again, because I'm a dingus. Here, go ahead and destroy him, please. Come on, thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I might just do this, thank you. I'm making some silly mistakes at the moment, but that's okay. That was supposed to be the super huge wave. Not really much of one, to be honest with you, so. Things are overall still going okay. I'm starting to get to that point where I can go ahead and start putting those repeaters down. I just think it's still better of an idea to put the Fume-shrooms down. If we put 3 rows of Fume-shrooms, they're not perfume shrooms, and a walnut, that's the perfect amount, because if we put more than that, then the very farthest row of of Fume-shrooms will not reach the zombies whatsoever when they reach the walnut. So this is the maximum of Fume-shrooms I want to have on the field. I'm gonna start busting some more graves if we want to, and I want to, all right. Okay, so we really are starting to earn up some cash. I can start putting some repeaters down too, excellent. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. This guy's eating a Puff Shroom. Don't really care much about that. Walnut there, awesome. Okay, things are really going our way at the moment. This Fume-shroom is in a bit of a risk, but I think it'll be okay, especially if we could start busting that grave. The pole vaulting zombies are currently our biggest obstacle to deal with, very obviously. But since we do get extra coins for busting graves, it is sort of worth it to bust some graves. I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. Put this here, good. Put that there, okay. So at this rate, we might not be able to get the full row of repeaters out before this round ends. We're about to hit our final huge wave, but it's fine. We've done just fine, and I'll have a cherry bomb if I need that. But I am tempted, that's for sure. Got more sun there. Huge wave of zombies are approaching. That's fine with me. Because I need 350 to put a repeater and still the cherry bomb if I need it. That's what I'm waiting for at the moment. But as you can see, zombies are popping on those gravestones, which is why it's worth getting rid of as many as you can in a round. I think right here's a good idea. Oh, maybe I could have done that sooner. Okay, well, that's fine. We still got them. Look at all those Fume-shrooms go. And now that the round is over, we could pick up that almanac, or here's a little strategy I recommend. If you're really strapped for coins, you can go ahead and start putting grave busters down. You can't make any more sun. Once the round is over, once you defeat the last zombie, whatever produces sun stops producing sun, but you can still place plants down, as you can see, just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put these gravestones down. I won't be doing this every round because it does take up a fair bit of time that I'm sure you don't wanna sit here and watch, but just as a bit of a strategy, if you're trying to earn up a couple extra coins here and there, that's an easy way to do it. And boom, we get ourselves an almanac. Now this is very helpful because it tells us all sorts of details on plants and zombies we have encountered in the game so far. So we got the Suburban Almanac, keeps tracks of all plants and zombies you encounter. View the almanac. So the Suburban Almanac Index, we can view our plants or view our zombies. We'll start with the plants. And this is where I can sort of see some things, right? We can see details on them. Like peashooters are your first line of defense. They shoot peas at attacking zombies, but more than that, you have like little details like how can a single plant grow and shoot so many peas so quickly? Peashooter says hard work, commitment, and a healthy, well-balanced breakfast of sunlight and high fiber carbon dioxide make it all possible. So we'll read through all these eventually. Unfortunately, they do not tell you the power of the plant, which is a shame to me because I would love to compare the power of a snow pea to the peashooter, but that's not something we'll learn here. We can also see how many zombies here, as of course we've seen the flag zombie, cone head, pole vaulting, bucket head, newspaper, and then screen door. But we have many, many more to go. So let's get going. We talking to Crazy Dave again? I guess we are. Ever play a game called Whack a Zombie? It's just like hunting squirrels. You know, those furry little rodents that dig holes in your lawn? You mean groundhogs? Yeah, just like that. But instead of squirrels, it's zombies. And instead of a shovel, it's a mallet. And instead of me, it's you. Those poor squirrels, what did they ever do? All right, I guess I affected his lawn. Okay, so yeah, this is a fun little game of Black as Zombie. This is actually my favorite minigame in the game. There are plenty of great minigames in PvZ, but this one just is always my favorite because it's the most simple, fun, and you're pretty good at doing it. You can earn up a decent amount of coins. More than that, you can earn up some items. Eventually, zombies will start dropping items. My suggestion is to always spend your sun that some zombies will drop here, as you can see, which makes no sense. In context, why do they have sun? I don't know. Maybe they were part sunflower. Maybe it was a DNA experiment go wrong. I don't know, but I only use the sun on the grave busters because it makes it easier, as you can see, because there's less zombies popping out of graves, and sometimes it can even drop golden coins, which are 50. So very, very worth it. And it just expands the amount of money I can make from this. And this will get quite difficult. Right now we just have brown coats popping up, so I'm easily able to just like bop them away. But soon enough, we'll have different kind of zombies. But yeah, I would love to hear, what is your favorite minigame in this game? I know there's, of course, minigames in the other PvZ games, sort of kind of, not all of them have minigames, but this game has a lot of minigames. And like I said in the first episode, some versions of PvZ have different minigames than others. Like the DS port of Plants vs. Zombies has its own minigames that can be a lot of fun. It has some minigames that are the same, but maybe at some point I'll play through the PvZ DS version of the game, because honestly, I think that one is the most different version of PvZ1 there is, compared to there are some levels that are different in general. Like it has some interesting mechanics. Like the Nintendo DS has a microphone on it, and there are some levels in PvZ DS where you need to use that microphone to charge plants for whatever reason. They just decided to add that. Interesting for sure. It'd be weird to make a video on it because it would just be like me talking into the microphone. I mean, I already do that, but doing it in a different way. But maybe at some point we could play through that. Maybe next year for the 10th anniversary of PvZ, we could play through PvZ DS because it is different enough of an experience. It's a very unique game. I love it a lot. And honestly, I think it's the only PvZ game on a Nintendo console, which is weird to me. And I'm hoping with the Nintendo Switch that eventually changes, because it feels like the Nintendo Switch and a PvZ game would be a perfect combo to me. Like, oh my gosh, I've talked about it before, but I would be so happy if they ported the original Plants vs. Zombies, the game we're playing right now. If they just did a direct port of this game to the Nintendo Switch, I would be so happy. It would be great if they made a full-on console version. Oh, that was it. A PvZ? That was really easy. I could have, of course, done the thing I said before and placed more gravestones onto gravestones, earned more coins, but it's okay. So for this, we get a very fancy looking mushroom. It is the Hypno Shroom. Makes a zombie fight for you, which is a bit inconspicuous. What does that mean? We're gonna find out together as we use it in this level, which is, oh, hey, new zombie as well. I think this is 2-6. So first level, let's choose our plants. We wanna have mushrooms galore. Okay, so there are a number of risks here I'm willing to take. We gotta be careful. And I think it's worth having a cherry bomb just in case things go really bad. So we'll do that, and as you can see, there is a football zombie, which some people may know as an all-star in other PvZ games. Why the difference in the name? I'm not really sure. But hey, I'm fine with it. I guess I maybe know the difference. If you guys don't know, in Garden Warfare, there is a class of zombies called the All-Star. It basically looks, I did this backwards. It's fine, we'll just get rid of him. And it basically is the football zombie is the base class, and then he has some other expanding classes, of course. And obviously it would be weird to call it the football zombie class if only one of them is a football zombie. So I guess calling it the All-Star sort of clears that up. Anyways, we got a zombie down there. No potato mines this time either. Now the football zombie is a very, very powerful zombie. We're gonna have to be careful about that, but it's not impossible. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of him now and wait until we have another 25 sun to place more. Especially with our brand new Hypno Shroom, I'm hoping we can place it at just the right time that, like it said, makes zombies work for you. It isn't easy, especially with how many gravestones there are out here. It is a bit of a tough mushroom to use, but it has been a mushroom that persevered. It's even in Garden Warfare 2 as a spawnable plant. It's pretty wild there too. If you guys haven't played Garden Warfare 2, or at least if you've played Garden Warfare 2 but have never gone against a Hypno Shroom, it will go up to you and sort of do like a heal beam tether like the Scientist or Sunflower can do, but instead it messes with your controls. So trying to move left will move you right, and moving right will move you left. It's super weird. It's a pretty rare spawnable tool. You don't see it much in the game, but it's a pretty cool one. You'll see it a lot if you go up against the Hypno Shroom boss. But for now, earning up some, we're about to finish up our 2 rows of sun-shrooms and our 2 rows of puff shrooms as well. Everything's going well in the world. We have all of that. I don't think we actually have any screen door zombies. So we didn't necessarily need the Fume-shroom, but gosh darn is it useful. Oh, well, I put him one too far. I'm getting sloppy with the mouse right now. I'm not very good at using a mouse. I mean, I have hooves. Can you really expect that I'm graceful with a mouse and keyboard? I don't think so, but I try my best. We'll go ahead and put a puff shroom there for now, because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to deal with that. This is actually a problem. This guy might actually ruin some fun. Oh, this is bad. Oh boy, we'll be able to get rid of him, but I'll miss out. Oh, that was really some major mistakes. Okay, now that we've done all of that, I'm gonna go ahead and start just putting the fume shrooms there. Block these guys off as much as we can. Luckily our sun shrooms are growing. That's gonna be helpful. Put you there. We don't need to get rid of those other gravestones just yet. We're fine for now. And hey, look at this. First guy to show up, the first football zombie. Now this guy, as you can see, he runs rather quick. So we're gonna have him. No, I missed it. Oh no. Oh, that was a mistake. No, I missed him. He ran right past it. Oh no, that's a problem. Luckily we have enough firepower that we should be able to get rid of this guy before he eats through that walnut. You could see that his helmet's getting a little busted up here. But that was so embarrassing. I just straight up missed him. Put it there too late. I mean, I could try to like remove this walnut or wait for him to chew through the walnut and place this, but he's about taken out anyway. I think it'll be fine. I might do something like this and okay, it's fine. Wasn't quick enough to do that. Man, I gotta get my game up. Usually I'm much better at this game than that, but I made some really silly mistakes there. But that's sort of the scary thing about the football / all-star is that he has a lot of health. He eats very, very quickly, and if you're not careful, he's gonna chew through your entire line of plants. Whoa, a diamond, that was 1,000 gold right there, or $1,000. So looks like we have ourselves a little bit more money. Almost twice as much money. We only had like 1,100 something. Now we have 2,100 something, or something like that. But yeah, that's gonna be closer and closer to our next upgrade. We need 5,000 coins for another seed slot. So that's sort of the most you save up for in this game is for the seed slots so that you can have sort of more of a diverse strategy, more options available to you. Let me go ahead and do this before silly things occur like they are right now. Man, I am not playing well. Maybe I don't know really if I've played PvZ while focusing so much on talking. I mean, I have streamed this game in the past, but it was a lot more casual. And I've always wanted to give this game a full, proper 100% playthrough. And I'm hoping we can do that for this series. Luckily, it looks like this guy is, oh, this is the last round though. I really wanna use this Hypno Shroom, so please All-Star get there first. And he did, so as you can see, one bite with the Hypno Shroom and boom, he starts eating zombies like crazy. I'm gonna put this right there. It does not destroy your hypnotized zombie, luckily, but he's just gonna turn around and start eating all the other zombies and then he just walks off. How awesome is that? It's just any kind of scary zombie can start working for you, and that gets awesome for some of the scary zombies we end up going against later in the game. Honestly, I don't use them as much as I should, but here's another one of my favorite mushrooms. It is, the Scaredy-shroom, long-range shooter that hides when enemies get near it. This guy is very useful, but also very interesting. You wanna put him on the farthest back lane because he will just sort of hide and do nothing if a zombie gets too close. Looks like we have another football zombie, so things are gonna be a bit risky. I think this will be the round where we start going back to Sunflower. There's a number of things we could do here. I think that's not a bad combo. And then we can round it all off with that. No cherry bomb this time. First time in a while that we're moving from the cherry bomb. I'm so glad we got the Gravedigger because that is a lot of Grave Buster. It's not a monster truck. That is a lot of gravestones. We're just gonna, prepare ourselves with as many Puff Shrooms as we can to be as protective as possible if things look overwhelming. That's why we have the potato mine. Oh, there's gonna be a long level too. As you can see, there's 2 flags. But this is where we could start putting this guy, and he shoots from so far away. He has maximum range, but the problem is if they get too close. So we're hoping that we can set up a lot of defenses that'll help us, or protect that situation. But for right now, I should not place any more plants that cost anything. I need to save that for the sunflower. So I'm waiting for the sunflower to do her magic, to place another sunflower, and then go and go and go. We're gonna do 2 rows of sunflowers as we're normally used to. You could technically survive on 1 row of sunflowers, but I feel like it would be pretty dangerous and difficult to do in this level specifically. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna wanna get a grave buster for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th row. But for right now, I just gotta focus all in on the sunflowers because we're sort of lagging behind with that. It is not good. Come on now, sunflowers, spit out that sun. It's so slow at first, but it's worth it because it starts picking up real quick soon enough. Sorry, this music is so good it gets stuck in my head all the time. Okay, so at least we have the 2 rows of Puff Shrooms. That's helping us a lot. I want at least 1 row of sunflowers before we move on to the grave buster, but I think we need more than that, to be honest with you, before things start working out. Luckily, they know the struggle of trying to earn up the grave buster here, and they're sort of pitting us. This is not most of the nighttime levels, you do not want to go without a grave buster because it's just near impossible to deal with that because there is going to be a zombie that pops up from that sooner or later. And our goal is to try to prevent that from happening until, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I know I'm spending all my sun right now, but that is a problem. But what was I saying before? But that's gonna be a problem. A lot of zombies usually end up popping up from gravestones right as we hit that huge wave of zombies. So we gotta really get working here if we wanna survive all of that. Okay, so let's see if that potato mine actually gets put to use. I think it will. I'm just gonna let it do its thing and put the other Puff Shrooms to good use somewhere else. Okay, so now we're starting to get more sun a little bit more quickly, which is good. I'm gonna put this here, that there, and then that there. Gotta deal with those, not the bucket heads, but the cone heads. We haven't seen too many bucket heads in nighttime just because it's a lot more difficult of an area that it can stay difficult without the use of bucket heads, but we're gonna start seeing them soon, I think. Because we are starting to get to the end of World 2, the nighttime world. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then do this. So 2 rows of sunflowers, things are starting to pick up for sure. I'm gonna grave bust this one. Zombies can eat the grave buster. You gotta pay attention to when you place that because things could get really nasty. Then I'm gonna do that and that. Awesome stuff, I'm gonna wait for this zombie to go away and then do that. Okay, so let's get our last little dude out there. These Scaredy-shrooms are so helpful and they also make an appearance in other PvZ games, of course. They are in Garden Warfare 1 and 2 as spawnable potted plants. Same thing with the Fume-shrooms. And they also in that game, of course, get scared if zombies get too close. Okay, so let's try that. So far, so good. I think we're gonna be able to handle this wave. Not too many zombies actually came from the gravestone, so totally ate my words on that one. But it could have happened, and I'm glad I was prepared. So we do have the Hypno Shrooms. I'm not quite gonna use them yet. I'm gonna just focus on making a huge row or a huge colony of Fume-shrooms. The Hypno Shrooms are really only gonna be used for the All-Star because they have a sort of slow respawn rate, so I don't wanna use them right before I need them, like I would typically do. Let's go ahead and get another one here, just to take care of this brown coat really easy. This screen door zombie. Okay, lots of things to click on. Lots of things. This is where the game gets very active. A lot of people think PvZ is just sort of like a casual clicker style game, but it really is a lot more involved than that. There is a lot of strategy to it. Okay, so we can do that, and then put you there. I'm glad we're slowly getting rid of these gravestones. The thing is that we wanna make sure that the spaces that we need are occupied, not occupied. That has nothing to do with octopi. Are occupied by plants because when new waves of zombies or the huge wave of zombies are popping up, gravestones can come from the ground, but they can't if there's already a plant there. So that's what we wanna focus on for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this gravestone, so that's why it's good to fill up as much of the field as possible. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna keep grave busting this stuff, if not for anything else but the extra coins. We really don't need that last lane of grass or whatever, but I'll take it while I can. And do that, and we're still working on our 3rd row of Fume-shrooms. Oh gosh, I gotta be quick about picking things up because if you take too long, sun and coins will disappear after a little while. You gotta be quick with all of that. We're doing pretty decent though. Things are about to pick up in a little bit of a crazy way. I'm trying to make sure my defenses are in order because remember, we do not have a cherry bomb this time. So if we're looking for that protection, we're not gonna get it from there. We need to just make sure we actually have a solid line of defense. If I had more time to build things up, we could have maybe gotten a second row of Scaredy-shrooms just in front of the sunflowers, just like that. But for now, we don't have that. So here is this all-star football zombie. I'm just gonna have him turn around and deal with whatever other zombies are in the way. And then get our final Fume-shroom. Okay, so that Hypno Zombie did what I really wanted. No, Hypno Zombie, Hypno Shroom? No, Hypno Shroom. Oh, and hey, speaking of Shroom, we get another one. This guy looks very angry. He looks like he's very ice cold. Might give you the cold shoulder. It is the Ice-shroom for 75 Sun. Temporarily immobilizes all zombies on the screen. This thing can be an absolute lifesaver at times, and sometimes it really isn't that great. It depends, it really does. But for now, the sunflower strategy worked pretty well. We had a lot of sun by the end of it, so I'm gonna keep with that. Now we do have a new zombie, as you can see, discoing around. It is the dancing zombie. So for him, it's very worth it to have at least some cherry bombs around. I don't think we need a potato mine. So I'm gonna try something like this, and I think we're gonna pass on the Hypno Shroom this time. It won't be our last time running into a disco zombie. We can deal with that later. You can, of course, hypnotize the disco zombie, but I wanna showcase what he does before we hypnotize him, because he is a very interesting one. But the Scaredy-shroom will be very helpful. Definitely still need the Grave Buster. Gonna showcase the Ice-shroom, and then the cherry bomb is good for when that disco zombie goes really crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting history with the disco zombie that we'll be sure to talk about. I'm not gonna put the Scaredy-shrooms down right away like I did last time. I'm gonna wait for more sunflowers first, and then we can start pouring that in, because I feel like we had an unnecessarily slow start last level, and I don't wanna continue with that. So we're, right now, just focusing on putting down as many Puff Shrooms as possible, and we're doing well. So yeah, we made actually good progress. I thought this was going to take us, it might still, like much more than an hour to get through level or world 2, the nighttime levels. But so far we're making great progress. Okay, so luckily he took care of that zombie. Good job there, little Puff Shroom. And he does it all for free. He's such a great guy, he just wants to help out. Okay, so far so good with all of this. But yeah, of course, if there's any kind of like cool strategy you end up using for these levels that I don't do, I would love to hear about it because your feedback really helps me. I don't know how much of the series I'll be recording before I start posting it, so I'm like really ahead of my schedule right now, and that's very good for me. I'm never ahead of my schedule. But I wanna hear your guys' feedback on this game because that's one of my favorite things about making videos is hearing from you guys. So be sure to let me know your strategies on PvZ1 for some of the nighttime levels, or just maybe for some of the upcoming levels that we haven't tackled yet so I can, hear what you guys do. And maybe I could try some of those strategies out. That's why it might be fun to play through the bonus game mode where you have all the plants again. That way we can showcase even more strategies, but that'll be up to you guys. Maybe by the time we get done everything, you guys will be totally sick of this game. You're like, don't play anymore, please. We'll have to find out. Okay, so we're starting again, getting in that spot where we can start putting down other mushrooms. I mean, I wanna make sure we have some sun for these other sunflowers, but busting that grave is definitely gonna be helpful. Get that and that. And this is just a one situation here, a one flag situation. Okay, so there's our dancing zombie friend. As you can see, he makes 4 backup dancers, which are not fun to deal with. So I'm gonna try to earn up 150 really quickly. I could spend that, but I actually think we'll be able to survive this just fine. I mean, he could spawn in more. We gotta be very careful about this, and that's why the Ice-shroom can be good. Just boom, frozen before he can spawn in any friends. Unfortunately for me, it looks like he wasn't going to in the first place. That's fine, that's fine. So, there is, like I said, interesting history behind the dancing zombie. He originally had a different design. He looked like basically like an artist, a musician from real life, but unfortunately passed away around the time the game came out, so they decided out of respect for the person who passed away to change the design of the zombie, so he just sort of looks like a stereotypical disco person. I mean, obviously a very cool zombie, has persisted throughout the PvZ franchise, of course. The disco zombie is a boss in Garden Warfare 1 and 2. He is a card in PvZ Heroes. Not only that, but a sort of a zombie hero version of him in PvZ Heroes. There is Electric Boogaloo. So yeah, he's a pretty cool one. And he dances the night away, as you can tell. So if a bunch of scary stuff starts popping up, we can Ice-shroom them. These plants can take them out really quickly. As you can tell, this was quite a quick round, so I haven't had too much time to deal with much, but we can really combo some things up to be really nasty. So awesome, awesome stuff. And there's really not too much I can do about it now. Just let it all rip. Which is fine with me, because there really isn't too much powerful stuff going on. I think the base, like, you know, backup dancer zombies are the same as the basic brown coats. So taking them out with the Fume-shroom, or the Fume-shroom, how many times am I gonna do that today, isn't too big of a deal. I have some extra sun, might as well break one gravestone before we pick up what looks to be a very dark and ominous mushroom that cost 125 sun. It is the Doom-shroom. Destroys a large area, leaving a crater in its wake. This guy means business, and you can tell by that awful look on his face. He looks like he just woke up like an hour after he was supposed to. He slept through his alarm. He was up all night last night because the dog made a mess. Like, he's just in an awful mood. Okay, so let's try something like, Gonna have to be specific about this. I would love to try to do the Hypno Shroom on the Disco Zombie, because I don't do that often, but it's always fun. I need a Grave Buster. I could go, I mean, honestly, if I have a Cherry Bomb, I wouldn't need a Doom-shroom and vice versa. The thing about the Doom-shroom that's risky is you need to be sure it's a good time to use him because it leaves a crater, which means you cannot place a plant in that spot for a little while until it patches itself up. I think this is an okay strategy. We won't be using the Ice-shroom, but you can already tell what it does. It freezes everybody in an area, and it can be very helpful in a pinch, but so can the Doom-shroom. So I think this will be just fine. Okay, there we go. I try to, you know, place those first two plants as quickly as physically possible for me. You know, I'm a little clumsy, so not always the fastest, but the faster you get that first sunflower out, the faster you get your first two suns out so you can place another one, so definitely worth it. There we go. Because I really want to be able to bust this grave that's on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th lane again, because it's just not very opportune. Luckily, if you really pay attention, you'll notice that the sunflowers light up right before they're about to give out some sun, so you can sort of have a second to prepare for it. I swear that they don't give sun as often during the night, but that might not be true. It might just me being, like, perceiving it, because usually, you know, you have some time to just sort of sit here and wait for it. While you don't have that during the day because there's also sun falling from the sky and you're trying to earn up everything else, that usually you're actively doing things more during the day than you are during the night, where you're just sort of like waiting, come on, give me more sun, give me more sun. Right here, awesome. Okay, there's so many gravestones I'm gonna have to get rid of. It's going to be a struggle, that's for sure. But we're doing pretty well, 4 sunflowers out already, and there are 2 huge waves to deal with, so it's gonna take some work. All right, get that there. And we're doing pretty decent. I'm just gonna keep moving with it. And like I said before, there are lots of cool strategies you can do. Most of my strategies will be relatively basic because my main goal is to showcase these plants to you guys, but I'll try to mix it up once we can. And obviously this game doesn't get too difficult, so it never expects you to do these crazy advanced strategies. As long as you keep things basic and pretty obvious, they should work out for you. Go ahead and put another sunflower down. I have enough for another one already, so I might as well start trying to afford that stuff, but I very much so need to put a grave buster over the grave buster thing. Okay, do that there and that there. Almost done with our second row. Things are doing very well. Oh, I should have put a sunflower there instead. Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups. This is not a good time to get hiccups. I have to fight zombies off. Okay, so grave bust that one. And once we get these next 4, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one, things will get a little bit easier, I think. I mean, they aren't incredibly difficult at the moment, but they're certainly not easy. Look at all the Puff Shrooms we have. That's a lot of Puff Shrooms. Now we don't have to worry about getting sunflowers out anymore. So I think things will get relatively easier. But that first major wave is about to pop up, so if we could get 125 sun for this Doom-shroom, that would be fantastic, because I have a feeling a disco zombie might pop out. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that right now. I mean, I could just try to, so we have 75, or we have 150 sun, which means we can do 275 plants. Now we have 175, 200. Where is that disco zombie gonna pop up, huh? He's gonna pop up somewhere, right? Or maybe he won't. Anyways, there's a lot of zombies here. None of them are disco zombies, so we'll go ahead and Doom-shroom takes care of every zombie over there. I don't know how large the radius of a Doom-shroom is. If there is a radius, maybe it just takes care of everything on the field. I don't remember. But obviously, as you can see there, there's now a huge crater, so I can't put a plant there, which is a shame, but we're dealing with it in whatever way we can. Luckily, I'm starting to get these fume-shrooms out. They are helping. I sort of forgot I had them. I think I should have been preparing them sooner, but I'm doing what I can now, which is surely better than nothing. Okay, so I'm just trying to really be on the move here, get as much done as we possibly can. Let's go ahead and bust that grave. I wanna get as many rows of these guys as possible, while also trying to pay attention to my sun count. That way, if a disco zombie does show up, I can just boom, hit him with the Hypno Shroom, because he will actually turn around and start spawning dancing zombies for you if you get it at the right time, which is great. If not, he'll probably just get eaten by the other zombies, because they sort of eat each other, and eventually the zombie can get eaten by zombies, which is interesting. It shows that the zombies are really willing to eat through anything to get to their precious brains. Okay. But yeah, that's how the Hypno Shroom is a little bit different in Garden Warfare, is it just sort of messes with your controls. It doesn't make you attack your fellow zombies. It'd be very weird if it did. That'd be a very interesting, but probably overpowered spawnable plant. It is a shame that there's no playable mushrooms in Garden Warfare. All the mushrooms that are in Garden Warfare are just spawnables, so they really don't serve the same purpose as you'd imagine a variant like the sunflower with the pea-shooter does in Garden Warfare. Okay, just one more of these at the least would be good. I mean, we're making a lot of sun at this point. I could end up starting to do a bit of that, and I think we'll be just fine. Okay, here he is. Oh, darn it. There's a stinking gravestone in the way. There we go, eat it, you fool, eat it and then disco dance. There we go. So he's a little weak at the moment, but there he goes, he spawns in his little friends and they help us out. Too bad it wasn't really in a situation to do that, but a huge wave is approaching. Maybe it'll help us at the last moment, that'd be great. Okay, so we have enough for the Doom-shroom, so I'm not really worried about all this other stuff. Oh no, there goes our disco friend. That's fine. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and boom! Get rid of a bunch of them. Maybe I did that a little too soon, because as you can see, there's still more zombies here. Oh, here comes the disco zombie. I gotta be careful then. Get these Scaredy-shrooms out here. Maybe I can hypnotize you as well, huh? Maybe. We might be able to see something. If there's only one zombie left on the field, and you hypnotize them, you automatically win, of course, because there's no opposition. But there we go, we did it! And we get ourselves another mysterious note. What is this gonna say? First off, we get a bunch of coins. We're almost at 5,000, we're at 3,680. You found a note. Hello, we would like to visit for a midnight snack. How does ice cream and brains sound? Sincerely, the zombies. I'll be fine with the ice cream, but I might pass with the brains, especially since it's gonna be my brain you're gonna try to eat. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of zombies. We got a disco zombie and an all-star in there too. This is not good. Give me some grave busters, please. Oh no, this is intense. You got this song. This is one of my favorite songs of PvZ because it matches the intensity of what I feel when we have an onslaught of zombies on our way and we're at the mercy of the plant conveyor belt, I guess it is. Right now, we're just gonna have a huge row of this, but this is our last level of World 2, which is awesome. We've made fantastic progress today. Where are those grave busters at? I really need them. It'd be very cool if there was like a Doom-shroom grave buster. Maybe that'd be a little silly, but imagine if there was a grave buster that was like 175, 200, but instead of exploding zombies, it exploded all graves. That'd be cool. Let me get these to use though. Okay, so we're not getting as much firepower as I wanted. Lots of Hypno Shrooms, which are great, don't get me wrong. And Doom-shrooms, 3 of them, which I don't think is exactly necessary, and some Ice-shrooms. But I'd rather just firepower, because that's what's gonna help me more in the long run. You know, Doom-shrooms only help me really in the moment. Okay, that should be enough to get rid of that brown coat, I think. The only problem is this guy's not being very nice to me. I might go ahead and freeze. Awesome, perfect timing, right before he starts attacking that guy. Okay, so we have another one of things get a little nasty, don't even have to worry about it. Man, look at all these Doom-shrooms. We have 4 of them and 3 Hypno Shrooms, it's insane. And the good thing about the Ice-shroom is not only did they get frozen in that moment, but then afterwards they have the frozen slowdown just like the snow pea gives them. It eventually wears off, but it really gives them a long-lasting effect, which makes it super worth it. If it was just a freezing effect, it'd be arguable if it's worth 75 sun, it depends on the situation. But it's a very good mushroom because of the fact that it goes beyond that. Okay, so things are going all right so far. We got our first lane of Fume-shrooms. And I'm getting rid of these gravestones quite quickly. I'm gonna do that because I really don't want you to eat that grave buster. Okay, awesome. Was that entirely worth it? I don't know. Does it really matter what's worth it or not if we already have another one and 4 Doom-shrooms? I don't think so. And at this point, I might just have to put some Hypno Shrooms as a precaution on the field. Go ahead and bust that grave. Yeah, we have 2 big waves to deal with here, so we're gonna have to be very careful. All right, so, oh, there's a Puff Shroom, I'll play that. We only have 1 slot left. Come on, what's it gonna be? I'm just gonna keep playing what's on that first slot, because I really wanna save these things for, of course, the huge waves. That's where they're the most useful. Awesome, I'll start playing this guy. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get any more Scaredy-shroom, so maybe I should have put him somewhere better. Maybe I should have put him over the Puff Shroom. Okay, we got another Ice-shroom. Just gonna go ahead and play that. This seems like the most useful thing right now. And I guess I'll start playing these Hypno Shrooms. Is this a good idea or not? We're gonna see. But honestly, I will be surprised if they make it out that far with all these Doom-shrooms we got. We got 4 of them. We're just gonna have a total row of them, which is crazy. Okay, so yeah, I'm probably gonna eventually move that Fume-shroom or like get rid of it. Oh, that's good, look at that. I might freeze these guys out because I wanna hold on to these Hypno Shrooms for as long as I possibly can. All right, not bad. I mean, the chances of me getting rid of the All-Star here are low. He's probably gonna get to that Hypno Shroom, but I do have another one. Okay, and oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was a total waste. I realized and it was too late. Okay, I got another one though. Don't worry, we're fine. Okay, awesome stuff. We're doing really well. We're about to hit our first major wave, which is A-okay with me. Working on our second round of Fume-shrooms. And we got Puff Shrooms all over the place. Okay, so more Hypno Shrooms are being eaten, which really isn't that great, but I had to, I had no other room. We'll go ahead and do that. And then there we go, 2 rows of them, and then some. Okay, so this is our first huge wave of 2. I could end up Doom-shrooming this, and I think I will. Boom, got rid of a bunch of them. Awesome. So now we're just gonna keep moving forward. See, I think I'm just gonna use the Ice-shrooms for the normal waves like this stuff, and then the Doom-shrooms for the big waves. But at this rate, I might not need as many Doom-shrooms for the big waves, so we'll just have to see how things end up going. I'm gonna go ahead and place another one down. Boom, just like that. Things are going well. Try to get rid of this. Don't eat that! Don't eat that, you fiend! You fiend! Okay, I got it. All right, I was worried that that gravestone was gonna get chomped, but it didn't. That's good. And I have now gotten rid of every single gravestone. Oh my, freeze them, something good. Okay, so the thing is we have more Scaredy-shrooms that I don't know what to do with because they're gonna get scared in a moment. I might have to Doom-shroom this. This is getting really nasty. Oh hey, we might be able to showcase the Scaredy-shroom getting scared because I don't think we've ever showcased that before. All right, and we can actually start working on our proper 3rd row with these guys. Oh, did he get scared there? I don't know. But basically he sort of hides. We'll find out in a moment's time, I'm sure. That All-Star's going though, he's being great. We'll do something like that. Good, none of these Scaredy-shrooms are actually getting all that scared at the moment. This one that's second from the top, he's about to get scared, right? No, none of them are gonna get scared? Okay, problems. I have no more room. Might as well do something like that, I guess. It's fine. Get these coins before they disappear. Okay, that Scaredy-shroom on the top. Will he get scared? There he goes, look at him hide, he's so cute. Only for a second, but it was still hiding. All right, I'm gonna start getting rid of these guys in favor of Fume-shrooms because they'll be way more effective. And the gold coin, awesome. Okay, so I think we're fine with what we got, to be honest with you. At this rate, we could really just wait this out. Place down whatever plants we have, of course. But the Scaredy-shroom is gonna end up being cannon fodder at this point, which is sort of a shame, but at the same time, if it works, it works. Freeze you guys, boom. All right, we're just fine. I think we're gonna survive this without too many scrapes or bruises. Because we've only used one Doom-shroom, so in total we've gotten 6 of them, only have used 1. And it's a nice way to get some coins too. Just this gigantic onslaught of zombies. Because we have a lot of coins to earn up in this game, that's for sure. Okay, so, give me your huge wave. You think you can handle this many Doom-shrooms? Watch this. I'm gonna wait for them all to come out, and it's gonna be like super overwhelming. It'd be cool if I just like remove all the zombies with the shovel, but like, freeze them, and then freeze them, and then freeze them, and then Doom-shroom, 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 and Doom-shroom. Oh, did I mention Doom-shroom? There's still more of them though. Maybe I overdid that a little bit. Freeze them. I have no more room for any other plants. There we go, we did it! That is the final level, the nighttime level is completed, and we get what looks to be a lily pad. Look at that little guy. So what is this guy? He's a 25 cost plant. The lily pad lets you plant non-aquatic plants on top of it. I wonder why we need something for aquatic. Either way, that's gonna wrap it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We made our way through the entirety of World 2. It was a lot of fun. And now we'll be moving on to World 3 in the next episode of Plants vs. Zombies. If you watch this part of the video, make sure you comment Mushroom Zebra so now you've watched the end, that you are a zebra-tastic viewer. Check out more episodes like this one on your screen right now or by subscribing to join the Zebra Herd. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time, bye-bye.